Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Reading 365. I am Will Amy. I am going to be managing our lovely session today. And just like every other day, we have fantastic readers on board. And I know that you're going to enjoy the stories that were being shared. But just some housekeeping notes. I just want to let you know that every day at 11 a.m., we are going to be here. This is brought to you by the American Literacy Corporation. And we have volunteers who have signed up to share with you some of their great reading selections, their love of reading, passionate stories about what it is they do. So we are so glad that you could join us today. Usually Sundays are a great day because we obviously have, a little more time, a little more freedom, a little more lax. Today's no different because one of our readers is celebrating her birthday. So we are so happy that she's joining us for her birthday. And in that spirit, without me even knowing, I showed up wrapped like a present. So I look like a gift. And she is going to share with us the gift of reading. So I wanted to just do a quick intro to our readers for today. Una Martone. Una, thank you so much for doing this. Good morning. Welcome to Reading 365 again. Una is with Leadership Harrisburg. She isn't from the area, sometimes I like to say, I like to highlight the natives versus the adoptees of the city, and she is also an adoptee like me. She's originally from Florida. So her love of reading to her little children, who are no longer little, from my understanding, has now transitioned to her sharing that passion with all of you. So she's going to do that today with her book. I'm going to allow her to introduce her book in just a moment. And then Sysha is with us today. Thank you for joining us. Sysha is also one of these folks who finds love and passion of reading and volunteers with ALC any chance she gets. She's part of our writers workshop during the summertime. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for finding the time to be here today. So Sysha also is going to intro her book when we get a chance. Sysha's from the Shippensburg area. So I like to say we're reaching outside of the Harrisburg lines, which is great. Sysha was a former children's librarian, which obviously is a cool job. Anytime you get to shush people, I'm with it. So I feel like that's probably a really cool gig. So we'll talk about that a little bit, but you're also a preschool teacher now with one of the Head Start programs that are out there. So we appreciate what you do there. And I know that your love of reading and passion of reading is obviously part of what you do and part of who you are. So thank you both for being here. I am going to let Una introduce her book, and we're just going to jump off screen and let you do your thing and get right into it. So without further ado, Una Martone.
Thank you so much. And I'm super happy to be here today. I do have two books, so I hope that there's enough time to get to both of them. I'll keep track of time. The first book is called I Promise, and you might recognize the author's name. It's written by LeBron James. He's obviously a famous NBA basketball player. He's even an Olympic champion, and he is a philanthropist, which is a big word meaning a person who gives back to their community. And LeBron James wrote this book, I Promise, in honor of a school that he started in Akron, Ohio. It's called the I Promise School. So if you already loved LeBron James as a basketball player, now you have even more to appreciate about him as a philanthropist, that big, big word, which means he's really generous in giving back to his community. And so I will start the book. It says, I promise to work hard and do what's right, to be a leader in this game of life. I promise to go to school and read as much as I can, to follow the rules and respect the game plan. I promise to run full court and show up each time, to get right back up and let my magic shine. I promise to be open and try new things and enjoy the happy that change can bring. This person was a little scared to jump off the diving board, but they did it, and they're having a great time in the pool. I promise to wear a big smile and use kindness when I speak, to remain strong yet humble with every win and every defeat. And I'm sure LeBron James knows that you can't win every single game, but you always have to keep smiling. And even when you don't win, still be kind to the other players. And then it says, I promise to ask for help whenever I need it, to reach for my star, even when I can't see it. I promise to ask questions and find answers, to believe in next time and second chances. I promise to use my voice and stand up for what's right, and when things get tough, to keep up the good fight. I promise to stand tall, rise up, and give all that I've got, to throw the alley-oop and uplift others on the spot. Nice that he puts in a basketball reference. I promise to respect my elders and peers the same, to leave new places better than I came. I promise to stay true, keep my head up and never give up no matter what. I promise to dream big and love bigger, to be a team player and a winner. I promise to cross bridges and break down walls, to rise with the sun and learn from the falls. Oops. I promise to be courageous, to be free, to strive for greatness. I promise to be me. That's the best promise we can make, to be yourself. I promise, written by LeBron James and illustrated by Nina Mata. And as I mentioned, I have one more book, and there's a couple minutes more for me to get to share this one with you. It's called I Am One, a book of action by Susan Verde and illustrated by Peter Reynolds. This is another great book. I just love it. I'm so happy to share it with you today. And it's colorful too. This book starts off and it says, how do I make a difference? It seems like a tall order for one so small. But beautiful things start with one seed to start a garden. One stroke to start a masterpiece. One note to start a melody. One step to start a journey. One brick to start breaking down walls. And I can speak one gentle word to start a conversation. I can use my one soft voice to start a friendship. I can perform one small act of kindness to start a connection. I can share one tender hug to start caring. I can light one candle to start leading the way. I can make one drop in the water. And what does that start? A ripple. To start ripples. That become swells, then waves. Traveling over oceans, across borders and boundaries. Landing on distant shores, to start a chain reaction, inspire a movement, make change. I am one and I can take action. We are each one and we can take action. One by one, we can make a difference. Because one is all it takes to start something beautiful. The end. And that book is called I Am One. It was written, as I mentioned, by Susan Verde and illustrated by Peter Reynolds. I'm happy to share these two books with you today. Thank you.
Fantastic, Una. Thank you so much. I love the I promise because it starts from something so simple, you know, just being yourself and doing your absolute best. So I think, as you said, if you didn't know too much about LeBron, it's kind of cool to see that he's also into reading and he's also into obviously writing. And so that was an exceptional book. Thank you for that.
Thank
And
you.
your second selection, I think is also necessary, right? We want to make sure that we take that first step and make that initial breakout that kind of leads us to, you know, greater and better things. So you don't fail until you don't try. So it's great that, you know, they're pushing the idea and the need for you to just step out and do that one thing.
That's right. It takes a lot of courage, but it's possible, and one small step, one little piece of action can make a big change.
Oh, you're so right about that. That's so perfect in the times that we're in. You know, so many things are going on in the world that everyone is kind of hinging on that one step. What's that first step that we can take to make huge change? I know that the social justice scene is something that you are hugely a part of, and we appreciate your dedication and work there and your allyship, obviously. So, what do you find are things that just kind of one little small thing that you could do and you know, start kind of set things on course that each person should probably take on in their daily life?
Oh, that's super easy to answer because it's so simple, and it's just smile and say hello to somebody. And it could be somebody who looks different from you, somebody who lives in a different area than you live, somebody who you see, you know, at the store, or it could be somebody at your school and you've never spoken with them before. And a smile and just a simple word, hello, is one thing that everybody can do every single day. And you never know what might happen next after you take that first step.
That's absolutely correct. That's that ripple, that little drop in the water we were talking about that
Yeah.
turns into the wave. So awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that
Thank
with us.
you.
Stick around. I hope you plan on listening to Sysha's book. So
Yes.
Sysha, I was hoping that you would tell us a little more about the book that you've chosen to read with us today. And I will let you do your intro.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I was really pleased to hear Una's readings. I loved hearing the sound of your voice. It was really wonderful. The book I chose is called Bear Snores On, and our author is Karma Wilson, and our illustrator is Jane Chapman. I just read this story to my students on Zoom on Friday. We've been talking about the changing seasons and what animals do during different seasons. So we were talking about hibernation, and in this story we have a bear hibernating. But another reason I like this book is it's got a really nice rhythm to it. So it's very nice to listen to. It's an interesting story with rhyming words. And of course the illustrations are wonderful. And it also shows examples of the helping hands that we talk about in the classroom, sharing, including others, fair ways to play. So this book has a lot of different talking points to it. So Bear Snores On by Karma Wilson and Jane Chapman. And we had a recent snowstorm here. So here's a depiction of a snowstorm in the forest. And this dark hole here is the bear's cave where he's hibernating through the cold winter. In a cave in the woods, in his deep, dark lair, through the long, cold winter sleeps a great brown bear. There he is in his lair or his cave, staying warm. Cuddled in a heap with his eyes shut tight, he sleeps through the day, he sleeps through the night. The cold winds howl and the night sounds growl, but the bear snores on. An itty-bitty mouse, pitter-pat, tiptoe, creep crawls in the cave from the fluff cold snow. Mouse squeaks, too damp, too dank, too dark, so he lights wee twigs with a small hot spark. The coals pip-pop and the wind doesn't stop, but the bear snores on. There he is sleeping. Two glowing eyes sneak peek in the den. Mouse cries, "Who's there?" And a hare hops in. Here's another word for rabbit. Ho, Mouse's hare, long time no see. So they pop white corn and they brew black tea. Mouse sips wee slurps and hare burps, big burps. Excuse me, but the bear snores on. There he is, still sleeping. This little critter is a badger. Badger scuttles by, sniffs, snuffs at the air. I smell yummy yums. Perhaps we can share? I've brought honey nuts, Badger says with a grin. Let's divvy them up, cozy down and dig in. Now Badger's sharing his snacks with Rabbit or Hare and Mouse. And they nibble and they munch with a chew, chomp, crunch. But the bear snores on. A gopher, and there's the gopher, and a mole tunnel up through the floor. Then a wren and a raven flutter in through the door. Mole mutters, "What a night! What a storm!" twitters wren, and everybody clutters in the great bear's den. Now we have a lot of friends here. They tweet and they titter, they chat and they chitter, but the bear snores on. In a cave in the woods, a slumbering bear sleeps through the party in his very own lair. There's his lair. There's the bear sleeping through the party, and here are all of his friends dancing around. Hare stokes the fire and Mouse seasons stew. Then a small pepper flake makes the bear achoo! He blows and he sneezes and the whole crowd freezes. They're scared because Bear just woke up. And the bear wakes up, and look at his face. What do you think he's feeling right now? He growls and he snarls. Bear roars and he rumbles. Bear jumps and he stomps. Bear growls and he grumbles. You've snuck in my lair and you've all had fun, but me, I was sleeping and I had none. And he whimpers and he moans and he wails and he groans, and the bear blubbers on. But Mouse squeaks, "Don't fret, don't fuss, look, see, we can pop more corn, we can brew more tea." gulps. Bear gobbles. He sighs with delight. Now look at his face. He looks pretty happy. Then he spins tall tales through the cold, blustery night. When the sun peeks up on a crisp, clear dawn, Bear can't sleep. But his friends snore on. Now Bear's awake and all his friends are asleep. There's our snowstorm again with our bear's cave or his lair where he hibernates.
That is fantastic. I feel like I have friends like Bear who would come and party while I'm trying to rest. And then the other thing is that Bear sounds very much like my husband, especially with the recent snow. I think that snoring is something that we may all be doing right now. So thank you for sharing that lovely book with us. And the illustrations were so lovely. I also know that you are into photography. So I feel like the nature scenes there kind of resonate with you, right?
Yeah.
And so I talked about this a little beforehand with Floyd before, because he likes to, give me tidbits of information. And I thought that by you doing our writers workshop, it would be so great if you could share with us some photography, that pertains to nature and kind of suits the story you just read. Are there any photos you could share with us now?
Yes, thank you. Let me see here. I have, I'm just going to be sharing from my Instagram account. This was something I noticed, looks like it was November 30th. So pretty recently, my eye was caught by these red berries. And the light brown background and the water collecting on them caught my eye. I like the contrast with the colors and the seasonal red to it. So
very lovely.
Thank you. And then here was a scene. We have a field behind our house, and I liked the way the light was filtering in from the sunset, and the clouds were kind of descended down. That's South Mountain in the background that looks like a hill, and the clouds were kind of descending on the mountain. And I like the soft colors. It reminds me of a painting, actually.
That's beautiful. You can't even tell where the land and the sky end.
Yeah, exactly. And then this one was, this was taken the same day, but the interesting thing is how quickly things can change from minute to minute or even second to second during sunset or even during a storm. The way things in nature just flow and change. It's always surprising. There's always something that you can look at. And the best part of being in nature is it helps you stay in the present moment. So that's something I think we all need in this day and age. We need more mindfulness, and that's what nature photography helps me with.
That's beautiful. And it also is so calming. Like just seeing that scene gives you like a serene moment. So also good, as you said, take a pause and enjoy it.
And I can tell you, like probably 30 seconds later, this mist that you see kind of in the distance had completely blown away to a different area. So that's another thing I like about nature. It's like, okay, now it's time to appreciate this moment because 5 seconds from now, you're not going to have the same thing. So it really, really emphasizes staying in the moment. That's an oak tree in the distance standing on its own. And I just admire this tree like every single day. It's beautiful no matter the season, no matter what kind of weather. There's always like beauty with just seeing the shape of that tree by itself out there. And of course, the colors are so calming too. Another reason why I like being in nature, just the calming effect of it. Here, the clouds just caught my eye.
Lovely. It looks like pillows just hanging out there. Very inviting. And now, do you take these photographs just on a whim, or do you anticipate and plan being in areas to be able to do this?
I often go out for walks or runs during sunset. So I know that I'm going to see usually, some interesting colors in the sky or interesting light coming in during that time. But most of them I'm not really planning. I'm just sort of like out there during that time, and then something catches my eye and that's what I decide to focus on. Yeah, the more you try to plan it, I think the worse it goes.
The worse it gets. Yeah, this is definitely one of those in the moment type shots.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And this actually reminded me of the Family Circle comic from a while ago. They always showed like the little boy and like the tracks he made around town as he walked all over. And my daughter's tracks with her snowball here just reminded me of that.
Yeah. And that is perfect timing because we can definitely do that right now.
Yeah. This was that one little tiny storm we had before the big one on Wednesday, and she was so excited. And this snow was in our area was so much better for like packing into a ball than the powdery snow that we got on Wednesday. It also kind of looks like a peace sign in the middle.
It does. I was going to say it kind of is very reminiscent that in the grass it looks like it's the peace symbol, which we all could use more of right now.
Yes, yes, for sure. And there's my daughter with a gingerbread cookie. And that was something spontaneous. I didn't tell her, okay, hold your cookie up to your face. Like she decided to put it there, and like the leg fit exactly in her little eye socket there. So
and that is also a sign of the season and the times.
Yes, definitely. Well, I meant to stop on the cat picture, but I don't think I can. The arrow is only making me go back right now. But we decorated the Jeep with Christmas lights, so there's another little seasonal thing. And then I took this last night. Here's our dog. When he rides in the Jeep, we always sort of say Captain Ruffy because he always has kind of like a very alert stance. And obviously the lights are pretty, but I like the contrast with the blues and the browns. I think it's gorgeous.
That is a very nice photo. The hues are very vivid and very bright when you're looking at it. So that's a good shot. And he's an awesome model. So he should definitely look into a career in Jeep modeling. That should be his thing. Well, thank you so much for sharing these lovely photos with us. That's amazing. Una and Sysha, I can't thank you enough, as I said, for taking the time to share your stories with us today. Impart a little wisdom and share your passion for reading. We will present, as I said, Reading 365 every day at 11 a.m. You can join us there and you'll be wowed and amazed and maybe sung to, because today, happy birthday, Miss Una. Thank you for joining us on your birthday. We appreciate you so much. We wish you many more and so many more blessings to come. But that does it for today's edition of Reading 365. Thank you everyone for joining us. I know that we're wrapped in the holiday season, so it's pretty awesome that you take the time to be here with us. Enjoy all of your pre-holiday Christmas prep. We noticed that we were all wearing like plaid before this. I'm like, because we're all in holiday mode, so we're ready. We're wrapping gifts and doing our thing. So thank you, ladies, again. Thank you everyone for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys.